Hi all, welcome to MBA Classroom. In this video, we are going to have a discussion on the features of international business. By features, we mean the different characteristics which describes an international business. A normal, domestic business invests, produces, markets its products and services within the country without much concern for what is happening in countries around the world. But international business does business crossing the boundaries of its home country. The histogram in the slide shows the responses given by around 80 students when they were asked what they think international business is all about. Majority of the students said that international business is all about exporting goods or services to other countries, and some of them said that opening a branch for either producing or distributing goods in another country. Only very few students felt otherwise. Is international business only exporting and importing, or all of these? Different authors have given different explanation on international business. International business is the process that involves crossing of national boundaries for imports, exports, investments, and transactions through copyrights, patents, trademarks, and process technology. When we say crossing national boundaries, domestic business in a country trying to market its products or services beyond its country's boundaries. It involves imports and exports of goods and services to other countries. It involves investing capital in other countries to start business or investing in companies of other countries. It involves the usage of managerial knowledge and experience acquired in one country to other countries. In other words, international business is doing business transactions which includes transfer of goods, services, technology, managerial knowledge and investment to other countries. There are many features of international business, but these 7 are the most discussed. Large-scale operations, integration of economies, dominated by developed countries and MNCs, benefits participating countries, keen competition, special role of science and technology, and international restrictions. We will discuss every feature in detail in the next few slides. We will take few MNCs as examples for our discussion. Pfizer is a pharmaceutical MNC. Microsoft, IBM and Amazon are technology-related MNCs. Procter & Gamble is a FMCG giant. Coca-Cola is a software drink major. Sony is an electronics manufacturer and marketer. Look at the revenue of each multinational corporation. Microsoft, $1,258 billion. Amazon, which includes 65 of its tech services, $280.5 billion. Pfizer, $51.75 billion. P&G, $67.8 billion, and etc. Just compare it with a domestic Indian company. What would be their revenue when compared to these MNC giants? It's huge money these MNCs have, and with these supremacy, they try to enter into new market and do business. These MNCs produce in large scale and market its goods in the local market, and if there is any surplus, it exports. So large-scale operations is one big feature of international business. Now, look at the investment these companies have made in India. Amazon, around $6.5 billion, which is roughly rupees 47,000 crores. Microsoft, through its venture capital fund M12, around $1 billion in Geo platform. Then we have Google, Facebook, IBM and other tech companies which had invested huge amounts in India. P&G has 3 divisions: hygiene and healthcare, Gillette and home products. It has recently invested around rupees 1,000 crore in Gillette, rupees 200 crores in home products divisions. Likewise, Other companies too has invested huge money in India as well as in other developing nations which has somewhat similar characteristics of India. It confirms our first feature of international business, large-scale operations. Integration of economies. When we talk about crossing national boundaries to do business, the issue is the other country should accept the entry of this company. There were many restrictions for doing business then. With the emergence of regional trade blocs like SAARC, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, European Union, BRICS, acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, these restrictions were minimized. Every member countries in these trade blocs will enjoy certain type of freedom to do business. It may be 100% investment in FDIs, movement of goods and services without tariffs, movement of people from one country to the other without any restriction, and so on. And finally, we have World Trade Organization, WTO, which facilitates doing business all over the world. When you talk about doing business all over the world in large scale, a small company from a developing nation can't flourish. It needs to spend a lot of money on finding markets, producing goods, marketing goods, etc. It can be possible if the company is large enough and also from a comparatively developed country. That is why most multinational corporations are from the developed countries. Countries like USA, China, Japan, and European countries like Germany, France, England, etc., have the most number of MNCs, and these companies only dominate the world trade. These companies dominate the world trade because they have huge financial resources, technological capability, improved research and development system, and also highly skilled employees. Can you think of some examples of local products dominating MNC products in India? There are some products which MNCs have not exploited because of restrictions. Even then, they've acquired market share. In India, milk is predominantly marketed by government-owned cooperatives and also some domestic private companies. For milk products like ice cream, where Amul is the leading brand, but it is followed by fast-growing Baskin Robbins and Quality Walls. The local brands like Arun Ice Cream and Vadilal are way behind the top brands. Till now, the vegetables marketed in India are from the local farmer. But if you look at exotic vegetables and fruits like broccoli, kiwi, apples, peaches, etc., it is the MNCs which are way ahead. If you look at the distribution of these products, some MNCs or MNC backed companies have started efficient online distribution systems. Benefits to participating countries. Even though the developing countries get benefited because of the adoption of technology, increased foreign investments, rapid industrial development, and thereby increased employment opportunities, it is the developed nations which reap in the maximum benefits. But one good thing is, a liberalized economy will see increased economic development. If you look at the pictures, you can see the effects of allowing MNCs in agriculture. We can have all varieties of fruits that too seedless. Consumers can enjoy the fruits without worrying about removing seeds. Sweet corn is another example. It is tastier, but MNCs have successfully marketed its products, throwing out the native corn varieties. Umikari, a product used for brushing the teeth, which our parents and grandparents would have used effectively, lost after the emergence of toothpaste. But now, these MNCs have started using the same umikari in their past and marketing it as activated carbon. These are all good for the economy, but our own indigenous products and processes have been lost because of these MNCs. Anyways, we will discuss the pros and cons of international business in the next set of videos. Keen competition, it's another feature of international business. One of the reasons most of the MNCs try to enter into other countries is because of them losing their market in the home country because of competition. It will enter into a new market where such products are not available or may be available but don't enjoy much supremacy. Always the competition in a developing country is between two unequal competitors, the cash-rich MNC or a growing domestic company. Look at Pepsi and Bovonto. The revenue for Pepsi is around $67 billion, whereas its competitor in the local market, Bovonto's revenue is less than rupees 100 crore. Truly unequal. It's the same with other category of products. MNCs are in a favorable position because they produce superior quality goods and services at very low prices. The next feature is special role of science and technology. As discussed earlier, science and technology is one of the major reasons why MNCs are dominating global business. Science and technology helps companies to have large-scale production, automation, best design, implementation of TQM practices, etc. Even though the MNCs transfer their technology to the domestic companies, the benefits which the domestic companies enjoy is negligible when compared to the MNCs. But it has paved way for better efficient process and practices. Can you guess some examples of new technology transferred to local companies, thereby benefiting both? Some examples are Internet and www, which has upside down the way business was done previously. When you go to a local supermarket, you can see barcode readers, card payment systems, and cold storage systems in warehousing and transportation. The road laying process, the backhoe loaders, etc. are some of the technology transferred by MNCs to local companies, which has benefited both. There are many other examples too. The next feature of international business is international restrictions. It's not easy to enter into a new country and do business. The country may or may not have restrictions in the inflow and outflow of capital, technology, and goods. It is through tariff and non-tariff barriers and other restrictions, foreign business are discouraged to enter into a new country. Tariff barriers are some sort of taxation which the foreign company need to pay the new country when it tries to market its goods. Non-tariff barriers are like negative list, restricted FDI, import licensing, entry requirements and testing, labeling and certification, etc. International business is highly sensitive in nature. Any changes in the economic policies, technological and political environment, the entity which is affected first is international business. Look at what happened to USA and China, which were friendly nations which were doing business in synergy for a long time. But now what happened? Lot of changes in the policies which has affected trade of these two countries. Look at our own country. There was a so-called attempt by Chinese troops to enter into Indian territory. And look at what our government did, has changed its economic policy towards China and are restricting its business. Even Chinese apps were not let off. So, this is all about the features of international business. Hope you had a better understanding of it. If you liked the video discussion, subscribe to our channel. See you all in the next video.